Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the studio today. We are going to be reacting to the new trailer for Master of the Air. Now, we recently were a little behind on the first trailer, or the first teaser, I guess. But this one is fresh. Fresh. It's fresh
Ready to go.
to hit
Just
culture.
like little
fresh.
teasers.
Yeah, so we're going to watch this together, and we will share our thoughts afterwards. So stick
Oh, we better.
around. Let's get into it.
What's the move? We lead our boys through.
So you're happy?
A girl worth riding to is hard to find.
So charming.
Not if you know where to look.
I'll miss you every second.
Major Egan, you were the first pilot assigned to the 100th.
Me and Buck Levin.
You are in charge of 35 planes and 350 air crewmen.
Don't you die on me before I get over there. Something big is brewing.
The 8th will be sending up the largest air armada ever assembled in the history of mankind.
Straight into Hitler's
Territory.
We need complete and total air superiority. That's the mission.
What?
You might be the last pretty face I ever see.
It might be. Ooh.
What's the move? We lead our boys through it.
All that we do, day in, day out, does something to a guy, doesn't it?
We're here to fight the monsters. The things these people are capable of. And they got it coming. Trust me.
Lord, guard and guide the men who fly through the great spaces of the sky.
Are we Tuskegee men or what? Sir, yes, sir!
Be with them traversing the air in darkening storms or sunshine fair.
I think we may be done. We are gonna sit here and take it. We're gonna stick with our mission as long as we can fly.
We won't go without a fight.
Cool.
I like that nice sunrise at the end there. Wasn't that
Yeah.
So
beautiful?
is this a movie?
Straight-
this is
Straight to
a
streaming.
yeah, but is it a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
It
straight
didn't
streaming
say.
movie.
Maybe I misread. It said a 9-part series or something.
No.
Did I misread? I just want to
All right,
double check.
I'll
on that.
preview it while we discuss, and I'll come
Yeah.
back.
It looks awesome. Just
I
like
mean,
visually, it looks really cool.
I mean, Austin Butler, you put him in a plane.
Mhm. Take off his shirt.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
we
that's-
don't think better.
I
that
did
you
maybe they're
notice
trying.
he's on
Maybe
a
they're trying to get.
motorcycle.
Maybe they're trying to get women to watch. It's
Well,
and-
these boys
and
do
me.
have the body of what the boys did back then. You know, like
Mhm.
it not super cut, also not lean.
Yeah.
Like and they all have very similar bodies because the food wasn't as readily available as today. You know, had a little bit more nutrients back then. You're right. It does say a 9-part series. I'm just confirming it on
Oh.
IMDb. You did not misread.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
It is a
Yeah,
TV
that's a lot.
miniseries, which makes sense
Okay.
why if Apple TV is doing it, why it's going straight to streaming because they usually are doing theatrical releases.
Yeah,
these days.
theatrical releases now. But
Um,
yeah, I'm interested in it. It looks. I mean, it said like executive producers. I know that's not like makes a huge difference or anything, but worked on Band of Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
This could be a very Band of Brothers kind of show.
Right. Which have you guys seen Band of Brothers?
No.
I've seen a couple of the episodes. Yeah.
I actually recently started it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've seen most of the first season. It's pretty well put together. If you
Yeah.
were to say like smaller budget than Saving Private Ryan, but like a similar vibe. we're
Yeah,
right
and
there, you know what I mean?
it's one of those shows that kind of put obviously HBO's been putting stuff out for a minute, but it's one of those shows that made people look at HBO and go like, "Oh wait, yeah, they're making some special stuff here with
Right.
shows like this."
Right.
I mean,
So
definitely special.
same writer as Band of Brothers.
Okay.
I think same producer.
Cool.
His name is John Orloff. Orloff.
Mhm.
Orloff.
John Orloff.
So does he direct by day and then he's a snowman by night?
Gosh, that was terrible.
It was
My
terrible,
goodness.
but
I don't want to ask
not
people
as-
to
not as bad
unsubscribe,
as-
but I would understand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What do you guys think of the? Because we've talked about this basically since we did the podcast, but the composition of the trailer, music, story, all the stuff.
I mean,
So
it's
this-
got all the stuff.
It definitely is telling a story. It actually
Mhm.
told, I think, 2, maybe 3 mini stories with different characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It told the story of Austin Butler leading the boys, and then the conflict they get into, and his resolve
Yeah.
to stick with it. And then it showed that one character really quick with, to describe the danger involved with
Yeah.
going into this. How he's like, "You might be the last pretty face I see," and then we cut straight to the
yeah.
explosions and the danger.
Mhm.
And so it's telling a few different mini stories, not enough to get a full picture, but definitely enough to get you interested. I honestly think it could use if it's a whole series, if it's 9 episodes,
Yeah.
I think it could used a little bit more story. In fact,
Yeah.
actually.
It's almost like it was put together
Maybe.
like a movie trailer and less like
Yeah.
a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
trailer.
And that's why I think we're confused a little bit. It feels more like a movie
Yeah.
than a series.
Do you think that guy actually dies? The guy that says, "You might be the
Probably.
last pretty face." You think he's gonna die?
I think
It's
they
absolutely possible.
they did all but
Setting
show
it
us
up.
that in the trailer.
Yeah,
You know what I
setting it
mean?
up for that. Yeah, and I watched a trailer for a TV series not too long ago, and I remember it being like either you get lots and lots of footage from the show, like different episodes,
Right.
Yeah.
which I feel like we got a lot of footage, but because of how similar the aesthetic is, it's hard to know how long the show is, or you get a significant amount of story because it is a show and they have more time to tell a story.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do feel like since this is a show, and I was kind of noticing this as well, the animation's not bad, but there are quite a bit of moments you can tell it's animated.
Yeah.
And since this is a series, that really confirms they're relying a lot on in-studio green screen or that kind of production as opposed
Yeah.
to more of the extravagant
But
film sets.
what's a movie? What's a plain movie that came out in the early, late 2000s, early 2010s? There was one with James Franco, I remember.
I don't
Oh,
recall that one.
are you talking about Flyman or like
Fly Boys, maybe it was
Yeah.
Fly Boys or something.
That- Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that you could say that the animation in that movie is going to be better than this. I'm sure this
This is
I'm
definitely
sure this will be better.
This
and
is
so
definitely
it's-
going to be on like just fine to watch. I'm just saying. You
it's,
can kind of tell.
I'm just pointing out we've kind of reached a point in TV cinema where we're getting, even with a lower budget, comparable stuff to kind of what we were getting in the 2010s. But obviously, it's not going to be House of the Dragon,
right.
which even then, there's points in that show that we take issue with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
I
know?
do feel like overall, though, unfortunately, right now, through the early 2000s to about 2012, animation for movies and the effects there were just climbing and climbing. Then they leveled off. Now, for some reason, in the 2020s, I feel like our show quality is ramping up while our film quality is coming down when it comes to animation. And so that's really unfortunate. Maybe it's because most of the effort is being put on series and they're just trying to do anything they can to just churn out these blockbusters to try to make a quick billion. You know what I'm saying? And barely anybody's making a quick billion these days.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with Margot Robbie and Cillian Murphy. As much as we dogged on Barbie, that movie was 10 years in the making.
Wow.
And Margot Robbie was trying to get it made for that long. So it wasn't a quick thing they just put together.
What was it? Vanity Fair did Barbenheimer interview.
I encourage people to actually listen to that whole interview because it's very interesting to hear. It's a good conversation. It actually really is. It's totally different than what we're talking about here, but I do encourage people to watch that.
Well, yeah, go watch that after you watch this, and and then come back and watch some more of our videos. Tell us what you guys thought of the Masters of the Air trailer it's a TV series apparently. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.